Hello guys, Oscar Hotel 8 Sierra Tango November Julian here for Off Grid Ham Radio. Today we're putting together a Go Kit for my Retevis Romeo Alpha 79 or my Retevis Romeo Alpha 89. Now each of these radios has unique capabilities. The RA89 is a rugged radio with an IP68 ingress protection rating, while the RA89 has a wide receive from 50 MHz up to 600 MHz. Both of these radios have USB charging enabled. For the RA89, that's USB charging on the battery pack itself. On the RA79, that's enabled on the case of the radio. This means, unlike the traditional Baofeng UV5R style radios, we don't need to carry the charging cradle to the field for charging away from the ham shack. When sitting idle, I use the EcoFlow River 2 Max to charge up the RA79 and RA89 through their charging cradles. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at the Go Kit.
You are listening to the Emergency Broadcast Systems. This station broadcasts emergency news and official information on the air for assigned area.
What I wanted when planning this Go Kit was a kit that I could just grab, put on, and one which wouldn't interfere with, for example, a rucksack or an inch bag that I would be wearing as well. My inch bag is the Savota Yakari XL. My inch bag already contains an HF radio but lacks VHF and UHF capabilities. For this reason, I'm adding the VHF UHF handheld radio Go Kit to my loadout. Now, I'm primarily using this Go Kit for VHF UHF data communication, as I believe data communications are underutilized on VHF and UHF. What you're looking at now is a WinLink session using VARA HF and the Retevis Romeo Alpha 79. As you can see, everything is self-contained inside the chest pack. So the chest pack has a compartment just for the Microsoft Surface Go 3 LTE. I can open it up like a clamshell, interact with the tablet, interact with the radio if I need to, but with data communications that's not necessary. Then close it up without ever having to take the tablet out of the chest pack. This allows me to carry everything I need to support my VHF UHF voice and data communications without interfering with an inch pack or other rucksack I might be carrying along on the way. Now the chest pack also has a second clamshell compartment. That's where I keep my cables, my digirig, my radio, depending on which radio I'm using, fire starter, some tool like a Leatherman, things like that. Now since the Retevis RA79 and RA89 both have USB charging, I carry along the PowerFilm Lightsaver just to keep those radios topped up in the field. This might be a great time to cut over to a tabletop view of everything I carry in the Go Kit. So my Go Kit includes not only communications equipment, it also includes practical gear we might need out in the field. So I've got my dual band Retevis RA89. I've got my Sorden Supreme Pro X earpro. I also keep a Kenwood compatible speaker microphone with volume control. For data communications, I use the Retevis RA79 with the digirig 1.9. And for this kit, I'm using the Microsoft Surface Go 3 LTE. This one has a built-in GPS. Now, for some of the utilities I carry a FLIR infrared camera. I carry the Leatherman Wave. I carry a monocular. And I carry a fire kit. I also carry an all-weather writing pad and a few pens and mechanical pencils. There's often been times out on patrol where I need to take some notes down, so it's nice having that all-weather writing pad to help with my recollection later on. Now the actual chest rig itself comes from Bastian gear on Etsy. He's a guy in Latvia or Lithuania, I forget which one of those two. Anyway, the quality is absolutely magnificent. Like I said, they're handmade and they're brilliant. You won't find a better chest pack. Now, just to add more context, I don't always carry both radios, but when I do, one radio is strictly for voice communications while the other is for data mode communications with the Microsoft Surface. Now, I like this setup very much, but I do have some problems with it. That's the push-to-talk and monitoring. Now, I don't necessarily need to monitor the data communications, but it would be nice to do so. That way I know that there's an incoming message. But I want to be able to monitor both radios at the same time while clicking the push-to-talk for the active voice radio. Naturally, I'd like to be able to route the audio to my earpro to hear both radios. Since this whole man-portable VHF UHF handy-talkie thing is new to me, I'm hoping you guys might offer some solutions. Now let's take a moment to talk about charging. Both the RA79 and the RA89 have USB charging. Now when I'm not out and about with the Go Kit, I use the EcoFlow River 2 Max to keep the RA79 and RA89 handy-talkies topped up. I can also use the 100 watt USB-C power delivery port on the EcoFlow River 2 Max to keep the Microsoft Surface topped up and ready for deployment. All right, before I get to the last segment of this video, I want to just mention that Retevis and Digirig both made this video possible. Digirig supplied the version 1.9 of the Digirig, and Retevis supplied the RA79 and RA89 radios for this Go Kit. You'll find information and links in the description for both Digirig and Retevis. Anyway, huge thanks to Retevis and Digirig for supporting the channel. Okay, before we shut down this video, let's say this. Data communications are underutilized on VHF and UHF. Naturally, it makes sense to augment our HF capabilities with VHF UHF voice communications and data communication. Now, in the upper left-hand corner of this clip, you're watching a WinLink session. We're doing that with everything found inside this chest pack. Even a new operator who doesn't have HF privileges or has no desire to get on HF can utilize this kit or put together this kit for data communications, for voice communications. A completely self-contained kit with everything required for VHF, UHF, local communications. Alright, so now you have some idea about what my kit will be used for, data communications. Let me know if I'm missing anything or if you think there's something that needs to be added to my kit. And use the comments below to let me know what's in your VHF, UHF, data modes, or voice communications Go Kit. I'm looking forward to reading those comments. Alright, that's about it, guys. Let me know what you think. The only thing I ask is that you be polite. So, if you like what I'm doing, if you like the content that I'm creating, please let me know by leaving me a comment and or a thumbs up to let me know. If it's not too much to ask, please share this video with someone or someplace where other operators might enjoy it. Rock and roll, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Ciao.